Magic Foundations has drawn a ton of attention from fans like you and I, and to say that Magic is changing in the next year and Foundations is the start of that, in my opinion, that's a massive understatement. But we have to begin at the beginning, if you will. We can't take a journey of the whole next year and all these changes to the game that we love so much without first diving in and deciding how we, the fans of the game, are receiving the latest release, the footstone, the beginning point for all of these modifications over the next year. So join me now while we take a look at every single sold listing of sealed product from Magic the Gathering Foundations on TCG Player, the ups, the downs, the all-arounds, and let's determine what are fans like us actually buying, what should we be buying, and what are we avoiding. So this is not the video where I tell all of you guys how I personally will be spending my hard-earned money. That is here coming later in the week or even early next week on the channel, where I tell you how I'm going to be spending my money on Magic Foundations, because I'm not a store owner or an online influencer with all my contracts. I'm just a guy who loves Magic and makes YouTube videos in his basement. So that video will be coming later. This is the video of what the community is buying as far as sales for the product are concerned on TCG Player. And information like this is extremely valuable because it lets us know how other people in our community feel about a product, and how we, the community, feel about a product often drives not only the value of the product, but its long-term success or even failure. So I want to take a deep dive into that. And if you're into content like this, make sure you click the like and subscribe buttons down below, because, well, that's how I know that you guys like what we're doing here, and it helps a small channel like mine more than you can possibly imagine. So before we get into that, later in this video there's going to be an announcement, because I got a big stack of a bunch of cards and I'm up to something, so stick around for that. But without further ado, let's head on over to cardboardfinance.com, the website where we track all the sold listings of sealed products from major TCG releases on TCG Player. And as you can see, it's been a busy start to the project. We have collected almost 500,000 total products sold for Magic the Gathering, and we have accumulated just a total of $45 million in Magic alone. We're closing in on 1 million sold listings of all sealed products across all games. So thank you so much for the channel members. You can click and spend $5 below to support this project and help pay those server costs. But this has been a fun product. But without further ado, it's time to talk Foundations. And you cannot talk Foundations without talking the Collector Booster Box. That is right. The Collector Box of Foundations is the most popular product being sold on TCG Player. And frankly, I'll be honest, that makes a ton of sense. The Collector Booster Box is something that's supposed to be the limited nature product in a evergreen release, a release that is supposed to span the better part of 5 years. Now, we've talked ad nauseum on this channel about how collector booster boxes, will be limited, and play booster boxes, it is in Wizards of the Coast's best interest to make these things available over the long term. So seeing these things be hype is no surprise. The other thing that makes us no surprise as well, there was a massive sale on TCG Player. In fact, it accounts for the majority of these boxes and the rapid decline in price as far as average price is concerned on TCG Player for the Collector Booster Box. And I will say, these TCG Player sales, when things like this happen, it's not necessarily a cause for panic. We saw this happen with Karlov Manor. The prices came down, and yeah, they eventually continued to go lower. But we've also seen several other Magic the Gathering releases that have come up, and the product has actually done extremely well. The rebound is there. We, find that those people that got in early got a good deal. Those sellers that negotiated those deals with TCG Players got an opportunity to sell a bunch of products, but the prices didn't necessarily, stay in the basement. And Magic Foundations is definitely in that category. We see here the collector booster display has rebounded all the way back up to $240, and it is selling in fantastic numbers. As our sales data tool continues to run and more sales jump in, that average price is going to continue to rise, because while we see a large number of sales in that window, that is not the end-all be-all window. And the same can be said for something like the Play Booster Box. Now, I will get this off my chest right away, and I'm going to be straight with every single one of you, because listen, I'm a Magic fan. I love Magic, but I'm also very honest. When a bad set is bad, I'll call it bad. When a product is bad, I'll call it bad. Heck, Universes Beyond came out in Standard. I'll try to link a video that we just talked about the other day, and I've told you, I'm not a fan. I don't like that. I can see why they did it, but frankly, for me personally, it just doesn't hit. But this Play Booster Box is something that I think we are going to see drop in price over time. We have talked about on this channel ad nauseum. We've said it till we're blue in the face. It behooves Wizards of the Coast to have this thing on the shelf, and to see this thing still selling at $144 or $134.33, and to see sales going off at these prices after this massive sale is, it's not like bewildering to me. Like, listen, I think this is going to be a fun product, and I think this Play Booster Box is going to be a wonderful way to sit down and just like play Magic. Remember when we used to buy product for the draft experience and to play? I think this Play Booster Box is going to excel in that front. I think it's going to be an excellent product for us to dig in, and while I like this product, I do expect to see the price go down. And with that, we must note that while the Collector Booster Box is the highest selling product in this release, with no Commander product, with no pre-constructed Commander decks, we see the Play Booster Box coming in not far behind. But this differentiation, this little gap here, I think tells you how the ingrained Magic the Gathering fan base that shops on TCG Player is going to be enjoying Foundations. And that's important. Most of the people here that are shopping for this product, especially this early, are going to be your more involved Magic the Gathering fans. And to those fans, the base set, the starter collections, the bundles probably don't often speak to us. But you know what does? Actually collectible collectibles, and the opportunity to get some iconic Magic cards in collectible treatments, and yeah, the Japanese shattered frame showcase foils or whatever they are, that's going to drive people towards that Collector Booster Box. We're going to be driven away from the Play Box a little bit pinky toe, just because, well, paper standard's not a massive thing, and more than that, we've played with the majority of these cards. Yes, I know there's going to be new to Magic cards, I know there's things going on, but I really do believe the Play Booster Box has a chance to come down in value, but be a necessary product on the shelf for onboarding Magic fans. And if that is something that's important to you, we need to watch not only the beginner box, but the starter collection. These products are extremely cool products and in need. They are in demand in Magic the Gathering as far as I am concerned. I have often said, I've said it till I'm blue in the face, I don't love that the only way to get involved with Magic, the only beginner product really is Commander. And I know it's not the only one, but that is the onboarding tool that is most frequently used. I love this as an onboarding tool, a way to get in, have a bunch of cards, and play Magic in a one-on-one, not 100-card singleton format. Now I know, if you don't like that, if you think that's a bad idea, if you think playing Magic like that is a bad idea, you can tell me in the comment section below, but I would never say playing Commander is a bad thing. I don't understand Commander players that say playing one-on-one Standard or Pioneer or Modern is a bad thing. There are multiple ways to enjoy Magic. I think we are all better off if we accept that and we support all of these onboarding tools. And this is an onboarding tool for new players. I think is really cool. I think it's a gap that we had in our community. I think it's something that's needed, but I don't expect the starter collection, as we see here, to be something that sells in high numbers on TCG Player. In fact, I often don't think that would be the case. And furthermore, the beginner box where you get a bunch of jumpstart packs, you get to build jumpstart decks, is something that is a wonderful tool. It's like a sit down, build and play game night for Magic the Gathering, but in a box where you get to crack some packs and slap together some decks. For anyone who's played things like Smash Up or other like board game style card games, this is a wonderful way to kind of onboard people into the Magic the Gathering ecosystem, but I would not expect much from their sales numbers on TCG Player. All in all, I am really excited to see how we spend our money, and I would not be surprised if you're here for this long. You get, the tinfoil hat prediction. We get to have a little fun. I would not be surprised to see that Collector Booster Box not only continue to lead this race, but really in the short term start to pull away. And if you told me by the time we made a video about how I am spending my money, by the time that video gets out to the community, this was a $245, $250 box, that would not surprise me. And mind you, most Magic the Gathering pre-releases, most of the time, pre-release product trends downward in price and only trends upward after a period of, real limitation. So we may follow that model as well. I feel for some reason the Foundation's collector's products are different. I am open to hearing from you guys in the comment section below, but all in all, as a community, we have spoken. We want the cool collectible things, but most ingrained players are not super interested in the new player things. And that does not mean they will be on my avoid list when I come to tell you how I'm spending my money, what I'm buying, what I'm avoiding. That's just how we're voting with our wallets right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit about the ecosystem and the numbers that are actually coming out and where people are actually spending their money. This is not speculation. This is hardcore information where, purchases have been made and consumers like you and I have actually, gone into our bank account and said, here's my cash, give me some magic stuff. Stuff like that to me is extremely cool. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, those buttons down below are calling your name, and YouTube is really cool about suggesting you other videos that I made. I think maybe they're on this side where you can click and watch some other content that I made. Thank you so much for hanging out. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and we'll see you around. All right.